All right, everybody, it is 9 a.m. We're going to get started with today's workshop. I just wanted to say off the bat, we have a really large group today. We expanded this workshop outside of just Akron, Ohio. So if you guys want to type in your chat where you're from, I would love to see where we're getting people joining us. Um, just so you know, with this many people, I really don't want to do the hand raise if I don't have to. I want to make sure we can get to as many people as possible to answer your questions. If not, Heather at the end does have her information listed. Couple things, you can use your chat to ask a question or your Q&A, and we will get to them throughout and then at the end. And another thing is later today, you will get an email saying thank you for joining us, and that will have the recording as well as the slides that she's presenting today. So without further ado, this is Heather Taylor from Glitter Girl Media, and Heather, take it away.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Laura. Always love being here. Thanks to all of you for being here bright and early to learn about social media marketing strategy. So I appreciate it. Love working with SCORE. If you are not currently working with a SCORE mentor, I highly suggest it. The program is fantastic. The mentors are great. And hey, guess what? The price is right, right? So welcome to all of you. Just a couple of things. First, we're going to start off like I start every one of my programs. This is just a little quote about social media, right? So in this day and age, it's really, really not a matter of whether or not you're going to do social media for your business. You're going to have to do it. It is the cost of doing business in this day and age. It just is. So I love this quote. We don't have a choice on whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. So we are here today to learn how to do it a little bit better. Hopefully, I learn every single day, and it's what I do for a living. So bear in mind, the platforms are always changing. The horizon is always changing. So this is just going to be kind of an overarching view of social media strategy and how to actually come down to create yours. So first, let's talk a little bit about what social media is not. It is not free. It's counterintuitive to everything that we've heard. And I don't mean, paid Facebook ads, paid Google ads. That's not what I mean. I mean, if we're going to do something, it is either going to cost us time or it's going to cost us money. So for many of us as a, small business, a solopreneur, a micro business, we are the ones tasked with doing all of these things for our business, right? I personally don't have a marketing team. It is me. So I understand I'm either going to pay a specialist to help me do something, or I'm going to take my time and do it for myself for free. I think that's for so many of us that is many of the services that we offer, right? It isn't just social media, it's all of the hats that we have to wear. So just be aware. Yes, it may not cost us to post on Facebook, to have a Google business profile, but it will cost us time. And we all know as business owners, time is money. So just, trying to set the expectation level right up front. Next, it's not a flash in the pan. Most of these platforms have been around for 20 years. I know that and just celebrated its 20-year anniversary. Social media is not going anywhere, right? I know there are actually still people out there who do not use email for their business. And I think, how can you possibly get anything done? They think it's just kind of something that's going to come and go. Email's not going to come and go, just like social media is not going to come and go. Now, is it going to change? Yep, on the daily. We will have something change every day. I don't know how many of you are Facebook users. I suspect a lot. You know that fun clicking noise we hear all of a sudden now? Yeah, I had to post a post about how to take that off. I don't know why Facebook updated it that way, but it was a fun little update that we had to get around. So these will always be changing platforms, but I promise you, social media as a whole is not going anywhere. So if you have not yet pulled the trigger to start marketing your business, there's no time like the present. Social media is not a replacement for your sales team. And for some of you, if you are in a sales role, you might breathe a sigh of relief, right? Social media is nothing but another cog in the wheel of all the things we need to do to market our business, right? We need our sales team. We need social media. There are other platforms that we can use as well. And hopefully, we're going to talk about how this is not your entire marketing strategy. Social media is just a piece of all the things that we need to do to make sure that the public in general, and specifically our target market, get to learn more about our business and the products and services that we offer, right? It is only a piece. Do not put all of your eggs in the social media basket. And this is from someone that does this all day, every day for clients. I would never tell them, oh, scrap all of the other things that you're doing, print advertising, direct mail, in-person networking, joining those chambers of commerce and those trade groups. We need to be doing all of those things. So I just want to make sure that we're setting the expectation the right way right up front. Okay, so everything needs a plan in business, right? We don't just sit down and go, okay, I'm going to have a business and just start working. So this presentation specifically is about the steps that it takes to build a successful social media marketing strategy. And it does steps and it takes planning. They always say, plan your work and work your plan. This is going to help you build that plan for putting together your social media marketing strategy for your particular business, right? There is no cookie cutter way to do it. We all have a different business. We all have a different model. We all are maybe in a different business vertical. So there are definitely steps we can take to make sure that we are building the right plan for our specific business. So step number 1, analyze your current social media performance. And that includes if you don't currently have one, right? The analysis should be pretty simple. We don't have one, and we want to move to, putting together a plan for our particular business. So here are just some questions to look at when you're getting started. Which strategies are already working well? And which ones aren't? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? If it's something that's working for you, you want to make sure that you are putting that into your marketing plan. If it's something that you've tried over and over again and you're just not getting traction, nobody's responding, it's not going anywhere, it's time to take a look at that too. On platforms are you seeing your best results? Hopefully everybody is watching how many likes, shares, comments they're getting. They're looking at their analytics, if it's a Google business page, that we're keeping an eye on where we are actually getting traction, because it matters, right? We want to keep doing the things that are working. How many followers do you already have on each platform? How will you know what a successful growth looks like to you if you are not sitting down and marking exactly how many followers you have on every platform? You want to make sure that you're watching that, right? What is the average engagement rate you're generating on your posts? Are you getting 1 to 2 likes per? Are you getting 30 to 50 per? And on which platforms are those coming in, right? If I'm getting 1 to 2 likes or shares on Facebook, but I'm topping over 100 plus on Instagram, guess what may be working better for me, right? And then we can take a look at which of those do we need to address to try and get those numbers up, okay? What does your brand sentiment look like across social media? Does it look cohesive? Is it, branded to your business vibe? If not, and it's just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, because all of a sudden, as business owners, and I've done it myself, so I'm not judging. Please know this is a judgment-free zone. I know I have to post something, so I'm just going to throw something up that I found. No, we need to be planning ahead of time. And then guess what? Our chest doesn't seize up because we haven't posted in a week, and it's kind of a big deal, right? So we want to make sure that our sentiment looks cohesive across social media. And that means through every platform. And it should, because we don't want to be working hard to create different personas on every platform. We don't have the time. How does your performance compare to competitors or the industry benchmarks? And you can very easily Google those things. You should know who your competitors are in your business vertical, and if it's a geographic thing, right? So when I do a social media audit for a prospective client, we talk about who are your competitors, and no one knows better than we, right? We're the business owners. We should know who our biggest competitors are in our business vertical or in our geographic location. We should be keeping an eye on them to see what's working for them. What kind of traction are they getting? What kind of hashtags are they using? Who are their followers? Those kinds of things. We need to be mindful and keep an eye on those things. Did you meet your social media goals for last year? Did you have social media goals for last year? If not, we're going to talk about how are we going to set those goals the right way so that we know if what we are doing is getting us the KPIs, those are key performance indicators that we want in our particular business. And if you did not meet your goals, what do you think went wrong? Where did we fall short? Was it, I didn't have the number of followers that I wanted? I'm not getting the engagement. I just don't think that my graphics are up to snuff, or when I'm posting written content, I'm not doing it from an SEO perspective or with keywords and search terms, or, what do you feel went sideways in that strategy if you had planned goals? So this leads us to number 2, set clear goals, right? So the first thing we have to determine is, what do you want from your social media marketing? So many of us do it because we heard we should do it. A lot of us hear stuff because lots of people talk, right? People tell us all the stuff we're supposed to do. But if we're going to do it, we should be determining ahead of time, what are we hoping to gain from it, right? Is it an increased number of followers? Are you just trying to boost your brand awareness? We're going to talk a little bit about a secret with that, because end of the day, what you guys need to know about social media, and I say this in every one of my presentations, is all social media is, and I'm not trying to minimize, but it's true, all that social media is are arrows pointing to your website. Yes, we create content and we make everything look very pretty, but at the end of the day, all these things are arrows getting people to our website. When we are on social media, and I do count Google as the social media, we don't talk about it here, but Google is number 1, right? Where do you go to look for things? Yeah, I do too. We all go to Google. Google has a 92% market share for online search. That is huge. If any one of us can accomplish 92% market share, we're doing extremely well. So even on Google, if somebody is looking up even your company specific, guess who else is on that platform? Just like they're on Facebook, just like they're on LinkedIn, your competitors are on every single social media platform. Guess where they're not? Your website. I pray they're not on your website. Do not put your competitors on your website. So our whole premise in using social media is not, I'm going to post a great post and someone will buy from me. If it were that simple, I would be a gazillionaire and would be making this call from Aruba. I promise you. It's about getting them to take an action to click through and either get to your website or pick up the phone to talk to you. So that's what we're talking about today. Drive traffic to your website. Absolutely. That is what it's supposed to do at the end of the day. Improved customer engagement. A lot of people forget it's called social media for a reason. It should be a conversation. It isn't just us, spraying and praying and talking about everything that's wonderful about our service or product. We should be having a conversation with the folks that are following us or engaging with our brand. And end of the day, is it generating quality leads? Is it converting to get people to that website where they will ultimately, hopefully, make a buying decision and opt to go with us? So here's what else I'll tell you. You can have the greatest social media in the world, but if you have not addressed your website and it will not convert, getting people there is probably not going to be, anything that will move the needle, right? We have to be firing on all cylinders. So it can't just be, well, I'm great on Facebook. Wonderful. So when we get them to your website, I will tell you probably 7 out of 10 people that I speak with hate their own website. That makes me sad because that's a very easily fixable thing, right? That's, either we're going to hire a professional to do that for us, we're going to update it ourselves. We should never hate our own website. We should love it, right? Because it's representative of our particular brand. So let's talk about the goal pyramid, right? So at the top is our overarching goal, right? And it is a broad business objectives. And many times we are not in complete control of what happens here, right? So if my overall goal is to increase my followers to 1,000, I'm not in complete control of that, right? The people who follow me have a vested stake in whether they follow me or not. So all I can do is come up with performance and process goals that will help me get to that overarching goal, right? So a performance goal is a smaller goal that will contribute to the outcome goal. I'm going to post more frequently and hope that in these conversations, people are, responding so their circle sees their response. Therefore, more people will come across me, and ultimately that will help me get to my goal of having 1,000 followers, right? Highly measurable actions at the process level are awesome. You have 100% control at this level. So my goal is I'm going to use 3 hashtags on each post to improve my reach. I'm going to make them specific. I'm going to have them targeted at my target audience. I'm in complete control of what hashtag I type in to the little box, right? So these are things that I can be 100% in the driver's seat for. Identify your KPIs. And what are KPIs? Your key performance indicators. These are the things that you are going to look at to determine what success looks like from your end as the business owner, right? And those can be many, many things. Is it your reach or impressions? Your engagement rate? And by the way, it's probably a combination of lots of these, or maybe these are things you haven't even considered having for, your performance indicators. Likes, comments, shares. Click-through rate. How many people are actually making it all the way through? They see your posts and they get to your website. Brand mentions from other companies. Your brand sentiment. How is that looking across different platforms? Your response rate. By the way, are you responding quickly when people ask you a question? I will tell you, you will get rewarded for doing that on certain platforms. I promise you, Google is watching. If someone asks you a question on your Google business profile, and you do not answer, you are getting dinged and your ranking is going down because Google sees you as not being responsive to the tool that they are providing you for free. So they are going to reward those who answer quickly by moving you up in the ranking. And by the way, it's not a passive thing. They actually send you an email to your whatever account you've set up your Google through to let you know someone's asked a question. So you're not responsible for looking at it every 5 minutes. We have things to do, right? For most of you, this is just another thing that you have to do to reach that level of success, right? For me, it's what I do all day. So I can sit here on the computer all day long, working for my clients and looking at my stuff. Most of you have 72 other things you need to be doing today. So you're not right at hand when a question should come in, right? And share of voice. How much of a market share do you have? Are you seen as the professional in your field? You absolutely should be, and your content should be driving toward that goal. Consider your target audience and choose your platforms. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the different platforms. I don't get into all of them, but I want to give you at least some demographics. So if you have not started to formulate your plan, you know where to start. What should I do? Because I promise you, what you don't want to do is jump on 6 different platforms and try and figure them all out at one time. It's intimidating. It's difficult to get a handle on the different platforms. They have different purposes. They have different audiences. They have different ways to post. So if I'm giving any advice, I'm going to say 2 things. First of all, I implore you, do not put an intern in charge of your social media marketing plan. Nothing against interns. They are fabulous and they serve a purpose. And again, the price is generally right. I will tell you is interns are there to learn about your business. They are not there to be the face of your business. And I have seen more than one time, and I would say it's a lot, more than one time where an intern had control of all of the social media platforms, locked out the powers that be, and I've seen people lose accounts that have 30,000 plus followers. They can never post to them again because it is very difficult to reclaim a platform once you have lost it. Is it possible? Yes, it is going to take more time and effort than you ever want to spend, and it's very easily avoided by just not putting those people in the driver's seat, right? I always ask people, if you bought, and I'm not a car person, but I'm going to use a car analogy. If you bought a $150,000 car, are you going to hand the keys to someone who's never driven before? Of course not, because you don't want them to be in charge of that particular thing. I am willing to bet we have tons of people on this call whose business is worth more than $100,000 or $150,000. And some people hand the keys over absolutely willingly to people who have never driven or worked in business before because they're young, right? Being young does not mean that you know about social media. You may know how to click and like and share, but that does not mean that you know enough about the business to be writing about it passionately, to know about keywords, to know what triggers people need to hear to make that buying decision. So there's my first thing. The second thing is pick one platform and get really, really good at it. If it's Facebook, and we're going to talk about the different demographics. I implore you, pick one, feel comfortable in that one, and then you can add, right? It's very difficult to subtract when you've now opened 6 different accounts. You don't feel confident posting to any of them, so you just don't post anything. Then it looks like an abandoned account. And I tell people, if I see a Facebook that hasn't been posted to since 2018, what is my initial thought? They're out of business. You don't want to look like you're out of business. You want to look like you are open and ready for business, and you've even got the door open for people to come in. And you can do that if you feel comfortable in the space. Laura, did we have a question come in? Okay, she might check here in a little bit. We're
No,
gonna
I'm
go ahead.
so, I'm so
Oh, you're
sorry.
fine.
I couldn't get to my off mute button. We have a couple, one, well, we'll get to that one at the end. Is an intern the same as an influencer or freelancer?
No, an intern is generally someone that is in school to learn about whatever your business vertical is. That is sometimes a paid placement, sometimes a free placement, so that they can come in and kind of job share and learn about what you, how you do things, right? So it's kind of on the job training. And a lot of people figure, oh, well, they're young, they're in school, they know all about this stuff, and they turn everything over, and it can end well, but many, many times it ends poorly. So you do not want to turn over your social media passwords and all of the clearance to these people. You want to keep in control of your own platforms. Can they help? Sure, they could. And you can teach them about it. Just remember, you're the driving force. They're learning from you. And even though, yeah, I'm on TikTok, great. Are you a TikTok marketer? Do you know what marketing from that perspective means? If not, you can kind of step in it, right? You need to watch. You need to be in control of everything that goes out from your brand. I have met folks that are clients of mine now that had people that were social media specialists for them that never showed them the content that was going to go out before it went out. And I thought, I am not confident enough in anyone in this world to just give them free reign over my business and to talk about whatever they want. There are way too many ways to kind of, step into a hole that you may never get out of. So just be careful. Interns, anyone, employee, it can be anyone. Just be careful to whom you give the power over your social media platforms.
Okay, we have a couple more. Sharice,
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Sharisha. Sorry. I'm gonna address your question at the very end. Let's see. Somebody asked, what was step 1?
I will have to go. Well, everybody's going to get a copy of the video
Okay.
and the presentation, so you will know. I will be honest with you. I know them as they come up. I believe that one was, I don't even remember. Isn't that
All
terrible? And I
right.
just talked about it. So you will get it all. So don't feel like you need to take copious notes. You will be getting everything from the recording to the actual PDF of all of the slides. So don't think you're going to miss anything. We're going to get it to you. We promise.
Okay, Anna wants to know, oh, my screen's moving. Anna wants to know, and I think I can answer this one. Will we talk about LinkedIn? We have a whole workshop just on LinkedIn that will be coming up in the next 2 to 3 months, if I recall correctly. So I don't know, Heather, do you touch on LinkedIn at all in this?
Oh, I'm going to say yes, because LinkedIn is one of my favorites. So yes, we're going to talk about some demographics. We're going to talk about, who's on there and why you should use it. And if you guys, seriously, if you're in a business to business vertical for your particular company, LinkedIn is number one. I love Facebook. I'll be honest with you. For what I do, I'm on Facebook because people go there to see if I'm on there. I don't glean any kind of business from Facebook. Do I gain brand awareness? Sure, because I'm on there. But I will tell you, LinkedIn and Google, I get 95% of my business from in the social media arena. Now, could that be specific to my kind of business? Sure, but I'm willing to bet there are others. So yes, we're going to talk about LinkedIn, and I will tell you, I love LinkedIn almost as much as I love Canva. So it is with a great big red heart that we will talk about LinkedIn. Lots of people don't dig it. And you know why? Because it's the platform that's the business, right? It is Facebook in a suit. And on there, we are not taking quizzes to find out what kind of potato we are. We are on there for business purposes. But I promise you, I like going where the money is. And if I'm in a B2B field, I promise you, LinkedIn is where the money is. So yes, we are definitely going to talk about LinkedIn. And yes, you should absolutely join us for our workshop on LinkedIn because that's all we talk about.
Okay, next question. Why are hashtags important?
I'm going to talk about that too.
All right,
So we will
perfect.
get there, I promise. So it is
Um,
part of the process here. So we're going to talk about it. But yes, hashtags are important and we will talk about why.
how do
So
you,
who
you wa-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to, we have lots of questions coming in because it's such a big group. So how do you want to proceed? Do you want to wait till the end?
Well, what do you think, Laura?
Um, I think some apply to like right now what we're talking about. So if I can organize
Yeah, if
myself.
we can find that out, because they may find their answer for some of these as we go on.
Yeah, that's a good point. But well,
Because I keep saying we're gonna. But I
I want
promise
to
you we
address
will.
one more. What is the business vertical? That's the last one I want to address.
Oh, it's whatever bucket you're in, right? If you are in the auto industry, if you are in cosmetology, if you are in whatever, a professional service field, it's whatever, kind of group of businesses you are in. I am in professional services, someone who, there's pet care, there's all kinds. So those are business verticals. Sorry about that.
No. All right.
Okay, so who are you trying to reach through your social media marketing efforts? Every one of these people in this picture has a different style, demographic, age group. You need to figure out who is your ideal client, right? And how do you find that out? You've probably already got clients, right? And we all have ones that we see as, the top rung. These are boy, if I was making a list of the perfect client for me, these are who they are. That's probably the person you want to speak to with your social media, right? You can kind of gauge what your message is based on to whom you're trying to speak. And I'm going to give a very, very good example. So I also, along with Litter Girl, have a not-for-profit women's networking group that I'm the executive director of. I'm trying to reach companies that are champions for women, hoping they will engage with us. So I did a post specific. I was literally trying to reach one person on my LinkedIn. I'm connected with over 5,000 people on LinkedIn. I wanted to get the attention of one person on there. That was my whole goal. So I put together just a quote about, championing women. That person was the first person to like it. I knew my message was spot on. Out of 5,000 people, I drilled down tight enough that I could talk to the one person I was trying to talk with. Now, that said, that post got tons of response because how many of us are champions for women in business? It's awesome. But I love that that's the example I can give because I was literally trying to talk to one person because I'm very interested in getting associated with her particular brand. It was awesome. Does it happen all the time? No, nobody's that good. It just so happened that day was my day, right? But I knew how to speak to them because I knew what language they spoke. On which social media platforms can you find your ideal clients, right? Facebook, okay? 3 billion monthly active users. I promise you, some of your demographic is on Facebook, even if you're marketing to millennials and Z and all of that fun stuff. I promise you, some of them are there with that many people. Now, traditionally, the biggest age group on Facebook is, get this, and I would not have thought this is true, but it is 25 to 34. Why? Because 25 to 34-year-olds are on all platforms, basically, right? Doesn't mean that 65-year-olds aren't on Facebook. They are. I promise you, my mom is 68. Facebook is the only platform that she uses, and she loves it because she keeps in touch with family and she's watching what I'm doing and she's bragging on her daughter who's in business, and God love her. It is the most popular platform for consumers and marketers still, right? Because it's Goliath. Nothing has come out that has topped Facebook yet. It might, it just hasn't yet. LinkedIn, 1 billion monthly users. And there are a couple of demographics about LinkedIn that is the reason I love them with a great big red heart. 69% of the users on LinkedIn are on there daily. They are on there looking to see what's new in the business arena. They are hands-on users. 15% more are on there weekly. That's a whole lot of engagement because I promise you, there are a whole lot of people on Facebook that don't go on once a month. LinkedIn is not that platform. It's very active because people who are in business need to stay on top of trends. They need to know what's going on. So here's another demographic. If you happen to have a product or service that it takes a certain echelon of income to be a part of. 53% of the users on LinkedIn come from what is considered a high income household. So if you're looking to push out information about a service or a product where people have to have a certain income level, LinkedIn is huge. So please do not overlook this because it's not the fun cat ninja video platform. This is the platform to be if you're trying to reach business professionals and those who are very serious about careers, that kind of thing. So that demographic. What's funny is biggest user pool, 25 to 34. I wouldn't have thought that, but everyone's on there, right? It is an awesome platform. Instagram, 2 billion users monthly. Fantastic. Biggest age group, 18 to 24. So it skews much younger. Now, am I on there? Yeah. I promise you I'm not 18 to 24. I'm more than double that, but I'm still on there. My mother is not. My son is. He's 25. So it has a great demographic because it's the most visual, other than perhaps Pinterest, but the most visual of the, I call the big four: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google. Instagram is definitely the most visual. So for you guys that don't know tons and tons about social media, Facebook and Instagram are almost the exact same platform turned on its ear. Facebook leads with content, supports with a picture. Instagram leads with the picture, supports with the copy. So it's the exact same thing. It's just presented in a different way. Does that mean you need to do all kinds of different postings on Facebook than Instagram? No, not necessarily. Just means it's going to be viewed a different way, and that's okay. TikTok. Now, I'll be honest. I am on there because I like the cat videos and my friends always send me TikTok. I am not on there for my business. My clients are not the ones who hang out on TikTok. Biggest demographic there, same as Instagram, 18 to 24, 1.7 billion users per month. Fabulous. We all know TikTok, right? It's the short videos. So if you have short form video and your clientele skews a little bit younger, you should absolutely be on TikTok, even if you don't use it. I implore you, there are plenty of us who are on platforms that we personally don't use because we may not be our own target market, right? That's okay. We have to learn them or find someone who will learn them for us, right? And Pinterest, completely still a viable platform. Definitely, well, 498 million users per month. That is not a number to sneeze at just because it's not billions, right? I'm willing to bet that with everyone on this call, none of us has 498 million clients, right? So some of these people will be our clients. This platform is definitely female skewed, right? 76.2% of the users on Pinterest are female. So if you have a product or service that calls to women, Pinterest is absolutely where you should be, right? So how do we come up with who is our, ultimate buying persona? How do we know who they are? First of all, we look at whom we've already got as our great clients and we ask them questions. It's okay for us to ask questions of our clients, right? We want to learn all we can learn about how we can make them happy. How do I get more of you? What do you want to see from me? So we can, make a persona. We can figure out who are we marketing to, just like I did with the gal who, is the champion of women. Is it a particular sex or gender? Is it an age group? Is it a geographic location? Some of us can do business worldwide, but if I have a brick and mortar and I don't ship, I'm looking for people that are generally within a certain time radius, right? Or a distance radius to drive. What are their interests? Average income, we talked about that. And there are all kinds of demographics that you can find online for the different platforms. I don't get into it here because I want you guys to stay awake at 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot. And sometimes they differ, but I will tell you, by and large, if you kind of take the group of them and make your way through it, you will be able to figure out which platform you should at least start with, right? What is their favorite social media platform? If somebody follows you on Facebook, say you have 1,000 followers on Facebook, do a post. Hey, everyone, what is your favorite social media platform? I promise you they will chime in. And it's a great cross section of the people following you. Where are they actually wanting to go? Maybe their favorite platform is LinkedIn and you're not there. They follow you on Facebook, but it's not their favorite, right? So this is a great way to do to build your strategy. Ask those who are already following you. And then what's their preferred kind of content? Do they prefer video? Do they like, I just want a static post? I want ones that don't even have photos. These are all things that you can ask of your target market. Plan your content and set your brand style guidelines. This is huge because for many of us, we haven't even thought through it yet, right? We have a logo. Your logo is not your brand. It can be part of your brand for sure, but a logo is not a brand. Nike has a swoosh. That is a logo. Their brand is just do it, right? Everything that they talk about supports that byline, not the swoosh. If you are not familiar with Nike and you just see the swoosh, it means nothing to you. You don't even get a vibe from it, right? But when you start seeing their post and you start realizing that that's their messaging, yes, you will get that brand guideline. So there are different types of content, right? Regular updates, graphics and images, stories and blogs, short form or long form video, curated content, which is content we get from other places, right? We're going to share somebody else's information. We're going to use AI to curate content, contests and giveaways. And then you see which one I posted last, right? Promotional content, actual advertising messages, right? Come buy from me. Here's a special, that kind of thing. It's the bottom of the list for a reason, and we will talk about that. So content tips. 80-20 rule. This is not as prevalent as it used to be because we can actually probably skew a little more than 20%, but no more than 20% of your posts should directly promote your products and services, right? You should be giving educational, entertaining, or informative content. You have to be a resource for those people who are following your brand because guess what? They are kindly enough to follow your brand. They're doing you a favor by following you, right? I do a favor for those that I follow. I love the people who follow me, and I appreciate that they, A, take the time, and B, will actually interact with my brand. It's awesome. But the reason that they do that is I am not constantly hitting them with the message that they need to come do business with Glitter Girl Media. Because guess what? Maybe they don't have to do that, right? But I can tell them, I posted the update about how to take that chirping noise off of your Facebook. Had so many people say, thank you, I couldn't figure it out. It's great. I was a resource for them because it's what I do. So I have stuff come to my inbox every day in my particular field that I can share with the masses, right? Did you know that third-party posting platforms here in a little bit are not going to be able to post in Facebook groups? I knew because I get those updates, and that's something I can share with my network. I know that each one of you has valuable things that you can share with your network that A, establish you as the expert in your field. And let's remember what an expert is. It's anyone who knows 1% more than us. But if you're sharing that info, people are going to see you as a resource. Hey, I don't know about that. Maybe I'll go check out XYZ company, right? We want to be in that position. But that comes from offering this other information. We want to educate our prospective clients and our current clients. We want to entertain them. We want to make it fun for them to look at our brand. There are certain brands that I can almost tell you who it is before I look to the left to see what moniker's on there. I will tell you, if you do not follow Wendy's on Instagram, they're fabulous. Follow Wendy's, they're funny, and I love it. And some of their posts are fantastic. I don't know who's doing their social, but they need a raise. It's awesome. So not only do we want to follow those brands, but be those brands. We want to be the folks that, if you follow my brand at all, and it's funny, your brand doesn't have to be even about what you do. People who follow me know I love glitter. I will tell you, my boyfriend, when I was naming my business, said, do not call it Glitter Girl. You're going to alienate people. I thought, okay, well, if I'm alienating people, they're probably not my client anyway, if this is my moniker, right? They probably don't want to deal with somebody who's glittery during the day, so they may not want me. And the first time that I had a male client reach out to me, I asked him, because I told you guys to ask, right? Why did you reach out to me? This was the most disgustingly dripping pink post I had put out. And he said, I saw it and I knew you had something I didn't. And I thought, it never occurred to me that someone would reach out to me that wasn't exactly like me. So that was a learning curve. So I'm happy to share that my boyfriend has since rescinded what he said. And on my 4th business anniversary, he said, I told her not to name it Glitter Girl. Follow me for other great business advice. And everyone had a good laugh. But it's funny. You have to be okay with your brand. My brand is very sparkly. And I'm a huge music lover. So if you love Foo Fighters at all, you're going to see Dave Grohl all over my content. It has nothing to do with what business I'm in. It has everything to do with the vibe I want people to feel when they do business with me. Aim for a good mix of different post formats to keep things fresh and interesting, right? If you post, and I will tell you, there are certain companies out there that are, that worked with direct sales folks that honestly, I saw somebody challenge to go live on Facebook every day for 30 days, and my chest tightened up. I thought, first of all, I don't fancy myself interesting enough to talk about something every day for 30 days that people are going to find interesting. It's not a good mix. And if I look at your Instagram feed and I see video on every platform, it's a turnoff to me, but that's me as a reader, right? Well, we're all about appealing to our readership. So mix it up. It can be a static post. You can do one with no visual. You can't do that on Instagram, by the way. That does have to have a picture. But on the other platforms, you don't always need a visual. Make sure you're reposting something for someone else. Put the spotlight on somebody else. A nice mix is what people want to see, but stay on brand, right? Don't share something that doesn't fit your corporate model. If you are, decidedly a pet lover and you post something that's negative towards pets, and by the way, I can't even think of something that would be, that's not your brand. Don't put it out there. You can share content. And by the way, if you ever post a meme or something that has someone else's website on it, make sure you go and look at that website before you put out. Even better yet, recreate it on your own, because I'm going to tell you, there is a certain person that I know in business that shared a post that was a link to an adult website. Let's put it that way. She had no idea because she didn't bother to click through to see what the website was. I bet she now wishes she had done that. So always make sure if you're going to share content, make sure that you're looking at what you're sharing and what the vibe is from the website you're sending people. It matters. Brand style guidelines, right? Consistency is the key when it comes to social media. If you have a brand color palette, make sure you are repeating that color palette. Now, you will notice on my, if you go check out Glitter Girl Media, not everything is this pink and blue. It isn't, but a lot of it is. So I promise you, if you look at the 15 pack that pulls up on your phone and Instagram, you can pretty much tell that it's me before you get into any content, just because I am consistent when it comes to my brand colors. Create style guidelines that ensure the same colors, themes, and styles are used across all platforms. There are certain fonts that I tend to use for my brand. They're not always available on everything, but there is a guideline to do that, right? Make sure people know it's you. For better or for worse, right? Some people just are never going to be your client, and that's okay. We're trying to appeal to the ones who will. Make it easy. If you guys don't know about this next tool, you're going to love me and you can thank me later. If you have never been on Canva, and I know Laura's a user, I know that Jillian before her was, this is one of the most awesome tools on the market today. I tell everybody, and it's a big joke, but if Canva starts giving away free tattoos, I will get one right on my bicep. I promise you, it is that awesome. So it is a platform for creating graphics that could not be more user-friendly. It is fabulous. I do one-on-one trainings for people to show them how to use all the fun tools because they have so many. It is amazing the things you can do. Here's the best part. You can use Canva absolutely for free. Now, you don't get all the bells and whistles, just like you wouldn't with anything else. But what I will say is, Pro gives you everything. Canva Pro gives you every template, every picture, every tool in their toolbox. And it is literally 100, it might be $119.90 per year. There is not a $120 bill that I love plunking down more than that one every year. Do not tell them I said this. They're probably listening because, we're in the day and age of that. If they charged $119 per month, I would be happy to put it down. It is fantastic. And I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you there are millions of templates on this platform for everything from social posts to the headers for your LinkedIn profile to flyers and postcards and business cards. And if you can think about it, somebody has made a template for you on here to make it easier. It is fantastic. You can actually have Canva for Teams, which means up to 5 people within your business can all be using your business account. It's $300 per year for the first 5 seats. $60 a person a year. I mean, we're talking less than $6 a month, $5 a month. It's $5 a month for each person on there. Spend the money. I implore you. It's tax write-off, and it'll be the best investment you've ever made for your team. Now, this is the part I love because they are a philanthropic company. This platform, the Canva Pro, is free for nonprofit organizations. You have to fill out one form, is my understanding. One form. And you get this for free forever, so long as that nonprofit is open. It is fabulous. And I'm going to tell you something. They are teaching children how to use Canva now in first grade. First grade. Remember back in the day, we actually learned how to use computers. I know somebody has to be in my age group here. Canva is being taught in first grade. If a first grader can learn it, we can learn it. And trust me, I know it gets harder as we get older, but I'm telling you, very, very user-friendly platform. And they even have Canva Learning where you can actually, learn, or you can take, there's plenty of courses online. You can find someone who gives them. If you need contacts, please let me know. If you're interested in finding out about Canva training or to learn more about the platform, my information will be at the end. And please connect with me on LinkedIn because it's my favorite and I'm happy to help. So here's what that dashboard looks like. You keeps track of your projects, your templates. It is awesome. So you can see Facebook post, Instagram post. Now, me personally, I post everything at 1080 by 1080 pixels because I know that will fit on every platform. Instagram is decidedly square shaped and everything else will accept a square. So why would I make 5 different graphics when I can make one? I work smarter, not harder, right? Can I resize it? Yeah, there's a cool tool in here to do that. But why should I have 5 different graphics for the same post? That's just a me thing. That is a preference thing. If you want to take the time, yes, Facebook is more horizontally oriented than a square, but a square works. So just a heads up there. Here's what your brand kits look like. Look, you can set up, I have one file for all of my current clients. I have one file just for me, and you can see it outlines your colors there. I have one for my nonprofit organization. You can make as many brand kits as you want. So if you have, maybe 2 sides to your business where I have this product and I have this product and they have different logos, you can actually keep all of that separate in your brand kits. Telling you, Canva's the way to go. I used to use Corel. I don't know if anybody else on here has ever used Corel. It is the most non-friendly platform in the entire world, and I wanted to pull my hair out. I used that because I, at one point, had a business where I did, personalized cups and onesies and t-shirts, and that was kind of the standard if you're going to do graphics in that kind of arena. I absolutely loathed it. Just not a fan. When I finally bought in and went, okay, I'm just going to go with Canva, it was like the moment. It was just like that. So just know there is so much you can do with this tool. If you have not used it, I implore you, check it out. Consider new content types. And I know we get in our way and we, hey, I like to post this way. Great. We have to remember as business owners, when it comes to any kind of marketing, social, static, on-site, if we have a brick and mortar, anything that's at the POS, we need to remember what's very hard to remember. And that is, it is not about what we want to say. Our success has nothing to do with what we want to say to our clients. It has to do with what they need to hear to make that buying decision, right? We need to speak to them in their language, right? We need to meet them where they are. So we need to consider all types of content because I promise you, the ones that resonate just with us are not necessarily going to be the ones that only resonate with them. So we have to be open. We're going to mix it up, right? There is no one size fits all approach to social media for small business any more than there is for any kind of marketing, right? We have to meet our clients where they are. Review your content and analytics. See what is performing best for you. Your followers are going to let you know what they like. And there will be crickets if it's something they don't. I promise you. And sometimes you think you've got the post to end all posts, buddy. It is just going to go, you're going to go viral. You just know it. And you get nothing because it resonated with you. It didn't resonate with the client. So it happens to the best of us. Happens to me all the time. I think, oh, this graphic is awesome. And I can't believe I found this particular thing for this client. It's going to be great. And it just doesn't gain any traction. And that's okay. Because guess what? In another day or two, we're going to have more content. Not everyone's going to be a winner. And we need to get okay with that, right? We need to be okay with that. Create new types of content that will help you reach your goals. If your goal is to get followers, guess what? We're going to ask people to share and like and comment because that's how we gain new followers. We're going to use new hashtags, that sort of thing. Set up your content calendar. There should be a calendar. You should know a month out what you're going to be posting, unless something comes up between here and there that is an organic post we're going to put out to the world, right? We need to have that stock standard. I'm going to post this many times per week because I've done a social media audit for myself, or I've had someone do a social media audit. And in my business vertical, in my area, people who do what I do post an average of 3 times a week. Great. So I'm going to post at least 3 times a week, maybe even 4 market share, right? And I'm going to do all the content and all that kind of fun stuff. There needs to be a calendar to let you know what you're going to be posting next. There are several platforms that you can use where you can schedule everything ahead. You can also schedule per platform. Here's what I'll tell you. On any given day for Glitter Girl Media, I'm posting on 8 different platforms. There is no way that I have time to go into 8 different platforms and schedule everything for the month. And by the way, schedule everything for my clients. It's just not going to happen. So I need a platform where I can post to everything from one spot. Hootsuite is one, Buffer is one. I've heard really, really great things about Sprout Social. I don't use any of these because I need a platform that gives me access to post to up to 300 platforms. And I can almost assure you, none of you are posting to that many. So you don't want to pay what I pay. I actually had to find a company that would accommodate me because I also need to be posting to Google. I don't know if these do. You should be posting content on your Google business profile. Most people don't even know that you can. You absolutely should, because we all want to do well in search, right? We spend so much money and throw tons of money at our SEO for our website. But what comes before the website? Google. If they don't know you proper, they don't actually hand type in your URL or know your business name. In a discovery search, if you do not have a presence on Google and have your Google business profile optimized, you do not exist. And that's not me being mean. That's just me sharing. We have to make sure we don't skip that first step, right? So make sure that when you pick one of these platforms, and I haven't done research because I don't use these 3, make sure it's a platform that will post to Google. A lot more of them do now than used to be, but it's important because it will increase your ranking on Google if you post directly to your profile. Google will reward you for playing the game the way they want you to play it. So just bear that in mind. What to include in your calendar. You need to know what to include there. The date your content is going to be scheduled, the platforms it's going to go on, the actual verbiage, the graphic, if you've already created it, hopefully it's in Canva and you've just exported it, any web links, if applicable, if you're going to link to either your website, totally should, right? We want to have those backlinks, or to someone else's website. Hashtags. Okay, so for whoever had the question about hashtags, why use them, right? Can get in front of clients that I may not be able to reach any other way just by adding a particular hashtag to my content. Now, typically, you can add up to 30 hashtags on any post. I'm going to implore you, do not add 30 hashtags to your post. It is off-putting when you see it. It loses its because at some point, if you post over 10 hashtags, you drop in your rankings as well. You are actually having your ear slapped back for putting too much content on there. So 5 to 8 is generally the sweet spot depending on the platform, and it is plenty. That is plenty of hashtags. And I have curtailed them because when I learned about 30, well, I want to use 30, right? Because I tell everybody, fill out everything in its entirety. This is a case where that is not true. So pick 5 to 8 solid hashtags after going out and doing your homework to find out which hashtags you should use. And there are websites for that. Add those on your website. Because if I get on Instagram and I want to see, we're in Akron. If I want to learn about who's using hashtag Akron, I can go in there and see who has posted and what they've posted. If it's something I'm very interested in, if it's socially aligned, remember hashtag me too. Do you know how many posts came out when that kind of, hit the ground running? Tons and tons. But if I want to be seen as someone who is aligned with a particular social topic, I can just use their hashtag, right? So there are many different reasons to use hashtags. Sometimes it's just a funny haha thing, right? The example I always use is one morning on a Monday, I was walking through my house, tripped over nothing, and spilled my coffee all over the floor. It was definitely a Monday. So I took a picture of the mess and said, yep, it's Monday, hashtag bad hair day. Everybody knew that's what it meant. Nobody's going there to look up what's indexed under there, but it was just a funny haha, right? So sometimes you're just, giving levity, using it for levity in a situation. Can be any reason, but if I want to be seen as someone who loves Akron, I'm going to use hashtag love Akron. And then all of my content with that particular hashtag will be indexed if anyone does a search. You can only search on Instagram. You can search as well on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn uses hashtags as well. Do not put them on your Google posts. They mean nothing and they kind of look goofy because it doesn't apply to the platform, but 5 to 8 hashtags max. I implore you. I promise you that will be the sweet spot for you. And the last tip is analyze your results and optimize regularly. It's kind of twofold, but it's not. So the key to building a successful social media strategy is understand what's working and what's not. That's the only way you can pivot and make changes that will take you to the next level of success. You have to take a look at what is actually working. If it's working, we're not going to change it, right? We're going to do more of that maybe, but not to a fault, right? We still need to mix it up, but we know, okay, yeah, you know what? Testimonials really work for me. When somebody reads a testimonial from somebody else, I always get more traction. And I promise you that's the truth when it comes to pretty much any brand, because people want to buy stuff that other people found value in, right? So if I know testimonials do well for me, I'm going to incorporate one in my monthly calendar every month without fail. I know I'm going to get traction. So I know I'm going to do it. I know that's working. If I were using testimonials and it was, Cricketville, and I'm not getting any response, guess what? I can pivot and just eliminate that from my calendar for next month, right? I need to understand what's working and what's not so that I know what content I'm going to be creating for the future. Getting started with analytics. And there are 8 zillion places you can go to read your analytics. So you have to choose the appropriate analytics tool, right? Google Analytics has its own tool. Facebook has its own tool. You have it on Instagram if you are set up as a professional account. You can see on your LinkedIn company page and your own profile what's going on. So figure out which ones you're actually going to use and choose the interval at which you will review your campaign analytics. Are you going to look once per month? Are you looking per quarter? To stay on top of trends, I'm not saying to do it every week. That's crazy. That would be a lot of work. But if you look at least once a month to see what's working for you, your Google business profile will email you analytics every month. It's up to you whether you read them and take in, kind of what's going on. So set a schedule. If you know you're going to look at it every month, pick a day of the month and put it on your calendar. It's a task to do, right? So that you remember, because I promise you, we are all busy enough that could totally fall by the wayside. We're not looking at our analytics. We think we're posting away and everything's great. I would challenge you to make sure you're looking at those. And when you're reviewing your analytics, have your goals at the ready and keep your KPIs, those key performance indicators, in mind. Don't just look at the numbers, look at what the numbers mean. And sometimes you have to there's a learning curve to this, right? If you don't have a professional working for you to decipher all this stuff, you're going to have to figure out how to look at it. And it's so important. For me, I'll be honest with you, I'm more interested in my interaction and my conversation I'm having with clients. So I can very easily see, because I'm on there answering, right? If somebody says something, I'm going to respond. So because I want them to know, I see you, you're important to me, and thank you for commenting on my stuff, positive or negative, right? I will respond to all. But for me, that's my KPI. That does everyone's. You have to decide which of these performance indicators are, important to you. So in summary, the great news is you have a real opportunity to shine on social media. All you have to do is have a plan, right? Be consistent, be creative, and build a solid marketing strategy for your business in social media. You can do it. It can be done. I promise you. I know it sounds intimidating. You guys are probably already on your way. You're already here. You're spending time to learn how to get better at this. You're already investing in your success. So next steps, set aside time to create your strategy. You have to be able to have time to plan. I set aside 4 hours a month just for planning. Now, mind you, it's what I do for a living. So you're probably not going to be at that 4 hour level, but set aside time every month and schedule everything ahead of time. Pick your poison based on your target audience. Pick which platforms you will be on to reach those folks that are in your target market. Be 100% authentic when posting. People know when we're being phony. Be you. Let them know if they're going to work with you or buy from you, you are what they're going to get, right? So make sure that what you are putting out to the world reflects accurately the vibe and the brand for your particular business, right? And listen, this is key. And this is key in business across the board, right? Listen when your followers engage with you. If they tell you something you don't want to hear, it hurts sometimes, right? I am a very people person, pleaser person, and it's hard for me when somebody comments something that I don't like. If it's not from a super nasty place and they're trying to help, I need to remember that. If it's something that they love, I need to take that in too, because that helps drive what I'm going to be posting for the next month, right? Pay attention when they give you those keys to your success. That's what they're doing. So I thank you very much. Like Laura had let you guys know at the beginning of the program, you are going to get this slide deck as a PDF. You will have everything. If you have questions, and I know this is a very broad presentation because we could talk about any one platform for 3 days. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer. Easiest way is definitely don't call. Email or text. You can text to that number as well. And I'm happy to answer questions. We're going to take some here too. But I just want you to know you're going to have everything that you see here, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Okay, first up, Lauren is asking, how do you suggest going about planning your social media posting calendar? Are there any social media management programs or platforms you suggest?
I'll be honest with you, when I plan mine, and I'm sure that there are platforms out there, but I don't know about you guys, my favorite price point for me is free. I literally use an Excel spreadsheet. I let my, for Glitter Girl Media, I post 3 times per week. I have my dates and all of that stuff all in a spreadsheet. And here's the beautiful part. Once you set it up once, I literally just copy it. So I have, whether it be a 4-week month or a 5-week month, I have 2 different calendars that I can use that I know have 3 slots. I just use an Excel spreadsheet. You can use a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy because ultimately we're just moving everything to whatever platform we're posting from anyway. So it's whatever platform you are comfortable using. I'm sure there are paid out there. If we have something we want to buy, there's somebody out there that'll sell it to us. But literally, Excel is in my windows and I'm just going to use it. So I don't pay for that. I just use an Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, next, we're a telehealth startup. X and Facebook have policies against advertising medical services and devices. What's the best platform to advertise medical services, doctors, etc.?
So if you are looking for new clients and you want to be seen as an expert, I would implore you not to overlook LinkedIn. And they're seen as a real thing. It's a professional, more professional platform. So from your perspective, if you already have platforms that disallow your content, my key would be use the ones that allow it. I will tell you, if you are not a brick and mortar business, if you are an online business, you are not supposed to be able to have a Google business profile. I think that's crazy. There are plenty of us. Well, I have an office now, but when I started, I worked from home. Yes, I used I'm getting hiccups, my home address, but by and large, they want people with brick and mortar to use that platform. I will implore you to overlook that. There are more hoops you need to jump through, but Google is going to be one of your best platforms. And by the way, anyone on the call, Google, you need to handle. You are on there, whether you like it or not, usually. You don't want someone else setting up your account or claiming your account, or worse yet, answering the questions on your account. By the way, did you know they can do that? If somebody asks a question on your Google business profile, absolutely anyone can answer it. So I say get in there and answer it from the expert perspective. Don't let the public at large answer for your business. So back to the question, telehealth, I'm LinkedIn for sure, Google for sure, could be Facebook. I don't know what types of health we're talking about. So I'd say start with those, but I would post on any platform that allowed me to. I didn't know that there were rules in that. So that's good for me to know too. I appreciate that.
Okay, your thoughts about YouTube as a social media channel?
So I love YouTube. I don't get into that one because it's so broad. So when people do a search on Google, what do you think the first place Google goes to look for content is? Google, right? Anything that you have actually typed onto your Google business profile is the first place that Google goes to find you. So if you're not using keywords and search terms in your Google business profile under your about section, under products and services, you're missing the boat. So that's number one. Number two, where's the second place Google goes? YouTube. So if you have content on YouTube, and by the way, that doesn't mean just put up a fun video, because guess what? It can't recognize anything in video. You have to do the description to be found. Make sure you write a nice description for every one of your videos. And why is Google the second place? Or I'm sorry, why is YouTube the second place Google goes? Because Google owns YouTube. It is a sister company, right? So you want to make sure if you have anything that is, viable video content, put it on YouTube, if only as an SEO tool. So yes, Google totally viable. We just don't get into it just because it is. So I could do 5 months on just YouTube, but yes, 100% viable social media platform.
Okay, to secure my business name, should I set it up on all platforms I intend to use at a later point, but start posting to one or two initially? Question mark.
I would say yes. Just if you can do it without publishing, do that, because again, perception is reality, right? If I'm on there and there is no content, are you open? So I don't want anybody to steal the Glitter Girl Media, moniker. So yes, I went in and claimed all mine. That doesn't mean I have to publish on all of them, but yeah, if you can snag those, and the more, well, it's not so much anymore. It used to be the closer you can make that name to your actual business name, the better, because when Google goes out to find your social platforms and put them on your page, and it used to be able, you used to not be able to put them in yourself. Within the last month, you now have been able to add your actual social media platforms on your Google business profile. For some people, Google's a funny thing, so not for everyone, but the closer you can make it to your actual business name, the easier time Google will have finding you.
All right, we got all kinds of good questions here. Mary, you said a SCORE webinar about how to optimize our Google business profile would be great. There is going to be one. It's not on the website yet, but Heather does this. I think we just had one a couple months ago, but we are repeating it.
We did. I think we did it last month, and we will do it again. Let me see. I will search while we're sitting here because I know it's on my calendar.
Do you have any general advice regarding which social media platforms are best, excuse me, for a small community tavern? And also, do you know of any resources where they work exclusively, experts that work exclusively with bars and restaurant clients?
I do not personally have any connections with people that work exclusively in that space, but Google it. You can either do a near me search, or you can do it specific to the verbiage. So it doesn't have to be someone near you. I have clients that are in Canada or that are in Delaware. So it doesn't have to be someone near you to help with that. I don't do that, but I know there are plenty of people who do. I'm trying to find it. Sorry, I'm still looking for our Google is on my Google, sorry, I'm just still trying to find the date. From a tavern perspective, the ones that I follow on Facebook for sure. Definitely Instagram. There was a tavern that I went to. Actually, it was funny. I went yesterday, right? They wished me happy Valentine's Day on my business page, on my Glitter Girl Media page. And I thought, awesome, I'm going there tonight. So I said, hey, thanks so much. It's a fun company called Crafted Cocktail, and they do these fun little drinks. And I said, I will be there later tonight. And the lady wrote back, I won't be there, but have fun. Salute. And I took a picture and posted on my Facebook of being, shooting at their bar. So she knew I was there. She actually left her house and came to meet me because she wants to learn more about social media. I'm like, well, you're doing really well because you're engaging. She goes, I just could not meet you. So I follow them on Facebook primarily. But that's a me thing, and that's my age. You could be, I mean, a tavern is for anyone 21 and over. So I would say put most time into where you're comfortable and then branch out. So, but Facebook is the great equalizer, right? It is Goliath. So anyone who does have clientele on Facebook, that's a great place to start. And it is user friendly compared to the other platforms as well. So I would start there. And if you're looking for someone specific to that particular business, you can find them via Google for sure.
All right, in regards to Google, is there a fee or charge for Google? Can you talk about that a little more?
I will. So I will tell you guys, I do not do any paid social either for my business or for my clients. So your Google business profile is 100% free to use. There is no fee associated with setting that up. And I'm talking about Google business profile specifically, that little thing that pops up on the right when you do a search for people that has their website and address and all that. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you can pay for Google ads. I do not pay for those. So there is no fee. And by the way, I had done a presentation this week and somebody said, people keep calling me from Google and wanting money. Those people are not Google. They're not calling you for money. They're calling you for money, but they're not calling from Google. They're trying to sell you services. So anything that we have discussed or that we're talking about is 100% free. With the exception of the Canva, but I was very transparent about the cost there. That's the only cost that I suggest for clients who are going to be in that arena.
Here's a question from Joe. I get a low return on Google reviews from my happy clients. I send them an email with a link, but they don't take a minute to do it. How can I improve this?
So if you can, Joe, I don't know what kind of business you are in. If you can let them know you're going to be sending that link ahead of time, that is great. Some people are not reticent necessarily to click on a link, even if they know you. Create a QR code maybe, and do a follow-up postcard. You can send an email with it. QR codes are super easy, and most people know all they have to do is hover over it with their phone, right? You only have to hover over it with your camera, and it'll take you to the link. Used to be you had to actually have a QR code reader back in the day, and you don't need that now. So I'd say when I solicit mine, I prep the person saying, you know, especially if they've given me a compliment, hey, I really appreciated the Canva training. Awesome. I really appreciate that. If you would, I'm going to go ahead and send you a QR code that will take you right to Google, and you can leave a review. Won't take more than 2 minutes. If you would do that, it is a huge help to my business. So kind of prep them going in, because Google reviews are huge. Those help move the needle in SEO as well, because for every 5-star review you get, you move up in ranking. So great question, Joe.
All right, this one, a couple
ahead.
people have asked about Google. I don't know how to even find my Google business profile. I know I have one, but I don't even know how I got it.
Okay, so you could have set it up, or someone could have set it up and you claimed it. Google yourself. That's how you find it. Now, here's the rub. If you are not signed in under the account that with which you set up your Google business profile, it's not going to show you as a manager. If you are, when you Google yourself, you'll see a little thing that says you manage this profile. So just make sure if you have more than one email, you may need to log into each Google account you have, and it doesn't have to necessarily be Gmail, but you have to be in the right account to see that you are the manager. But the easiest way to find it is to Google yourself or sign in to Google and go to the little 9-pack up in the right-hand corner and click on Google Business Profiles. Hope that helps. You can tell I'm passionate about Google. I'm actually certified with Google for local search. So I know, I'm telling you, there's actually, if you're not familiar with this website, go check it out and actually see if you're on there. There's a website called 3bestrated.com. And it is, it determines the top 3 businesses in all the different business verticals based on your Google business profile. I was in business for 6 months and I was in the top 3. And I'm like, how, what? I assumed they were trying to sell me something. You know, they call you, hey, you've been selected as whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, how much is it? And they're like, it's nothing. We just want to know if we can put your information? I'm like, yeah, please do. That's another thing for Google to find, right? So, but it is based on, I believe it's either a 50 or 100 point inspection of your Google business profile. So there are other opportunities that you have out there just from optimizing all this stuff. I'm actually listed. It's just little old me, by the way. But in the greater Akron area, I am the, number 2 ad agency. The other 2 people who are there have been in business for more than 14 years, and they have an entire staff. So the fact that I take the time to do my Google profile pays dividends huge.
So a LinkedIn question, can you create a LinkedIn page that is only associated with just your company? If not, well, yeah, you can. You should,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is so you have a personal profile as you as a person, and then you can create a LinkedIn company page just for your company. Do not create it as a profile. I will not even connect with those people, just so you know, because I know they don't know what they're doing. I don't know how many of you are old enough to have been on MySpace, but back when you would join MySpace, Tom was your friend when you came in, right? He was everybody's friend because he was the owner and he wanted everybody to start with a friend. If you knew anything about anything, you got rid of Tom right away. So nobody thought you were green and wet behind the ears. You wanted to look like you'd been there a while. Putting a profile up as a company lets me know you're green. So make sure you click at, I believe it's called work at the top of your profile. And there's a selection near the bottom of the drop down that says create a company page. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
So you hit the other thing I'm passionate about because I'm certified in LinkedIn as well, because I did most of my learning there. I saw the power of it. So I'm glad you guys are picking stuff that I know a ton about.
I have a question. This question's a direct sales distribution business. Is there a way to catch multiple categories relating to multiple direct sale distribution businesses? I don't know which platform it's referring to.
If they can provide a little more clarity there, I'm not sure what the question's asking.
All right, I feel like we have 2 raised hands here, so one's been a while. Let me see if they have quick questions here. Joe. Joe, if you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and ask your question. All right, well, Nikki, Nikki Welch, I have unmuted you if you want to go ahead and ask your question. In the meantime, on Google and or LinkedIn, wait, can you, sorry. Oh, all right, go ahead, Donna.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Yeah, really, that question would be, I mean, I guess about any of the platforms, like maybe which are better to have multiple businesses related to, categories or, items to be able to, pick up different, I don't even know what to call it. Like
Are you talking about one business, Donna, or multiple actual businesses?
I have one business right now. I have set up one business page on Facebook, and I think right now it might only be on Facebook and have a Google email address for it. But
Okay.
I have multiple businesses that I'm going to be promoting through that because they are all related to health and well-being. So I don't want to have 2 separate things that I'm trying to check and catch up on. And, so like, the business itself is just one name. And the categories will be similar, but I don't know if there's either, platforms that I might be able to use more or different keywords to, allow them to come up, the one business to come up in a search, for both of the companies that I work with, or so that would be related to any platform, you know, if anything's better than another.
No, I think, you know, it's going out on the web in general. So yeah, you don't want to necessarily, it's not a divide and conquer thing when it comes to any one of the platforms. I would not be creating multiple accounts. I would put everything under the umbrella of one company, especially if you are in a direct sales field. But the content can change. That's what you have the flexibility over, right? So you can put whatever you want in the actual content, which is what Google goes out to find. So it's not account specific. Though I would put all of the keywords in your description, or all that you can fit, for the different aspects of your business, but you're not going to want different profiles for those, or different, you know, Facebook pages, things like that, unless there's a mitigating reason for you to have a completely separate account, because that's just confusing, right? And you're right, you do have to check multiple places. You know, Glitter Girl has several things that we do, but I have one page. It's basically one product. If you're offering health and wellness, that is one product. So no, you cannot pick like multiple headings to be under and things like that. What you are in control of is the actual copy that you put out. And that's where I would, you know, change up content, keywords, hashtags, that kind of thing.
Okay, we're gonna do one more question, everybody. Oh, where did it go? Oh, this is a good question. Okay, here we go. If you're just starting out but not fully ready to market the product, is it still a good idea to post related content?
I would have to see what you mean about that. If you have not rolled out your content, remember, all the content we push out is only to get people to go to our website and to convert. So I don't know that I would do that before I have something ready to roll out, unless it was a coming soon, or, you know, you're trying to build your followers. I generally don't encourage anyone who's not ready to actually roll out product or services to push anything out.
Bree
make
is
sense?
saying that she started it years ago and it's picking back up. It's a dog bakery. So she does have followers that are aware of the product.
Okay, so if you're selling them now, then yes. If you're not going to be selling them for 3 months, I don't know about posting to create urgency, other than a, you know, opening soon kind of a thing. So just remember, if they go to your website, you want them to be able to do something, right? They should be able to either contact you and say, hey, I'd like to order, or they can order online, or whatever the case may be. But if we send them to our website without giving them something they can do, that might be a lost customer, because they may not come back. So I would wait until they can actually do something with your company, even if it's, you know, I want to order when you open in 2 weeks. There needs to be a reason to be on there, not just, hi, here I am. You know, these platforms are business, and they should be set for you to actually do business with those clients. If I went to a website that was not letting me know they were closed, or that they weren't offering a product right now and they didn't tell me, that would not make me thrilled. I'll be honest. Unless it's, hey, coming soon, we're opening on, you know, March 15th, then okay, we're getting the excitement back up. We're getting our followers acclimated to seeing our posts again, then it would make sense.
All right, everybody, we are out of time. I hope, I'm not sure if I missed some questions. If you have questions, you can email us at SCORE if you want to. We do have a couple marketing, not a lot of social media experts here in Akron, but there are other options outside of Akron. If you know, you don't have to be only with an Akron SCORE mentor. So Heather, anything else? You guys are getting the presentation and the video, so you can rewatch and document as many times as you need to all the great information.
No, I think we're good. Just keep an eye on other workshops. We would love to help you out there. And our one for Google is coming up at some point. I'm not sure when it is, but we'd love to invite you to that. And if you have not done so, please connect with me on LinkedIn. That's where I do most of my business, and I would love to be able to see what you're doing and learn more about your businesses. So find me on LinkedIn and connect with me. I would love that.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a really good, as always with Heather, it was a really good workshop. So thank you again for joining us, everybody.
Have a good day.